and welcome. Welcome to another Friday afternoon. The segment is called Tread Talk. Thanks to HL is Bored, one of my many fine subscribers. I think he's a subscriber. HL is Bored. He came up with the name Tread Talk. I love it. It's nice and simple, and it's to the point. This is the third week I've been on this little fitness joint. If you don't know what I do, I just talk some absolute shit for about 20-25 minutes on a Friday arvo on the treadmill. I am progressing somewhat slowly, but I am now starting to do a fair bit more running. I'm 22 minutes into this 1 hour session. I've already run about 15 minutes. What I do is I crank the aircon up to around about 28 degrees. It's a brutal little session and I do sweat, but I am feeling good. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, jump on, give us a thumbs up. I try and not just talk Carlton, although this is a Carlton channel, and I've been getting a lot of really positive feedback from this segment. And there's not, look, to be honest, there's not a lot to talk about at the moment. A few more delistings around the traps, none from our football club. There'll be no delistings from the Carlton Football Club before the draft, which is around about, around about 3.5 weeks time, before we take, at this stage, 3 picks into 2023 AFL National Draft. I'm getting excited about that, to see what Nick Austin has up his sleeves, whether he will manipulate those picks before the draft or do some live trading. But at this stage, we've got 3 picks. What I want to talk about, what I've been thinking about, is just our list, and I just doing a little bit of comparison between our list now compared to what it was, say, in 2019, when Brendan Bolton was at the last year of his tenure, and then David Teague took over. And fuck, I just remember a lot of the rhetoric, and it had some merit regarding our list and just the age demographic, and we didn't have a hell of a lot of quality experience. You need that on your list, and Collingwood showed that this year, winning the premiership. And I think our growth really is from that experience. Those players who were young in age and young in experience, just developing, and now getting right into that sweet spot of their career. So we've got 23 players at the Carlton Football Club. By the start of next season, will be 25 years of age or older. And I think the really good thing is our oldest player we'll take into next year will be Nick Newman, 31 years of age. So 23 players. That's more than half of our list, guys, who are more than 25 years of age or older. And there's some absolute quality. In fact, when you look at it, most of the quality on our list comes from that group. Compared to 2019, I wrote it down somewhere, but I think we had 12 players on our list in 2019 who were over 25 years of age, and a lot of those are absolute fucking pretzels. No good. So we are, as the thumbnail suggests, we are fucking no longer window shopping. We are in that fucking store, and we're buying up big. We are right in that spot of winging the flag. And from my point of view, it comes as early as next year, 2024. I don't like really using the word no excuses, because nothing is guaranteed, and I don't know, they just, like the cliche is, they're hard to fucking win, and they are. But we can't simply just not finish top 4 next year and get that double chance. That's just, I don't know, non-negotiable, whatever that is. We can't afford to have that slump like we did this year. I just don't think you put yourself in a really good position finishing outside of the top four. So we're right in the fucking mix, which makes it a really exciting pre-season if we can stay relatively healthy, and we are at this stage. I think last week I mentioned only Zach Williams as the only player coming into this pre-season a little bit underdone, although some players obviously have had some post-season surgery. But the reports are we've got a really fucking strong and healthy list, and someone like Andrew Russell, who's he's copped his fair whack. I think he's like 6 years at the football club now, and that's a big amount of time to get these players who are now really sort of maturing to be in fucking unbelievable physical nick. So bloody hell, this is it's big. It's really big. Like not just the playing group itself, but the coaches. I mentioned Andrew Russell and Luke Powers there, been there for a while now, and this group of coaches, Voss, Clark, Hamill, and Hansen, who moves into a new role next year. This is their third year now. Tom Lonergan and Ebert, who came across last year, into their second year, and we bring in former player Jordan Russell, which that just frees up Ash Hansen to really concentrate on ball movement, which I think, that's going to be the close watch. Other than the growth of these players next year, that's going to be the close watch in regards to our game plan. That's that ball movement and transition, particularly from our back half. But fuck, we're so in the mix with this group now, and all our good players and all our stars are in that fucking real sweet spot. And I'm just going to go through, I don't know if I'll go through every player, but I've sort of broken that up just to give you some indication. I know age shouldn't be an indicator of your worth on a list, but we are talking about, that combination of experience and maturity, where you're at in your life, getting married and having children. And I reckon we've just got a perfect balance. I think there's still a few sort of key areas in regards to the talent of the list, but in regards to the age demographic and the experience, I mean, fuck, we should be winning premierships right now. And I know we want a sustainable model, and Michael Voss has spoken about that. But fuck, you got to win one sometime, and I reckon the pressure comes next year with this group, So I've broken it up into veterans, aged between 28 and 31. I'll talk about the blokes in that sort of right in the prime of their career. I reckon 25 to 27. The guys that are still maturing, but sort of just about to go into that prime, and then our babies. Like the babies, the three players we'll take in the draft this year, plus the two Irish boys, and then all the guys coming into their second season in 224. So I mentioned Nick Newman, 31 years of age, will be the oldest player I think on our list next year. Fuck, I reckon he's still got 2 or 3 good years left in him, or at least 2. He clearly had his best season of AFL football, and if he can produce, I reckon even 95% of that output, he'll be a regular in our team, and I reckon he's just about one of our most important players, just in regards to his experience and his level-headedness, and that's something of his game that's really improved. And he's a player that's just getting better and better of age, and what an asset to have, a guy that is fully invested at your football club and a great team man to lead that experience. And he'd be desperate as to the next guy, Sam Docherty, 30 years of age. He's probably the bloke I worry about the most, just in regards to his body. 2 knee reconstructions, starting to have a few soft tissue injuries, had that shoulder injury, and obviously his health issues as well, and how much of a toll that's taken on his body. But he's still such an important player and such a great leader for the footy club. But yeah, I'm going to watch him closely next year, and I think I think we really need to look after him and monitor him because he's still such an important player. But just the wear and tear now on that body of Sam Docherty and how many more years he's got left in him, and I reckon like a few others in that age bracket, he'd be just desperate to get a premiership. Zach Williams 30, big watch on Zach. Mentioned him before. He's got that type of body, I reckon, that can just blow out a little bit when you're not doing a lot. And I hope he doesn't sort of run into those sort of niggly injuries as he comes back in, because it almost feels like a new recruit. And I reckon he sort of watched from afar and watched guys like, those players that came to the football club and have had injury concerns like Jack Martin and Mitch McGovern and even Caleb Marchbank all come back in and be really good contributors. And I reckon that would burn the sort of the fire in the belly for him to come back in and have that impact, as well as a guy who came on big money and a big contract to sort of repay the club. And he's another one, he's just at a fucking good age, so where he plays is a big watch. Is it down back, running half back, or a bit of a live wire across half forward, because he has got some real X factor about him. Saad, I reckon, the same in that veteran category now. I reckon he didn't have a great year, but I think we found others around him to not necessarily make him the number one man with that transition, but I'd love to see him back to his absolute best. McGovern, big improver, signed another contract, fucking important player with his ball use and his intercept marking. Can he keep that body sound? He's just got married, so I really like him. I reckon it's a battle though between him, Marchbank and Kemp, which is a really good sort of competition to have, but he's 29 years of age. Jack Martin the same, 29. It's really crept up, hasn't it? So these guys who've been at the footy club now as big recruits are now 29 years of age, coming into the end of their big contracts. I know McGovern did. Martin, another one who's just starting to show his worth. Big year for him next year, and then Cripper at 29, and that's the one when you really think about it. Because I reckon he's definitely reached his peak, Patrick Cripps. But a more rounded footballer now, and the thing that I noticed about him this year is he cut out those really sort of Cripper-like mistakes. Became a lot more, it wasn't that he was ever selfish, but a lot more team-orientated, and almost sacrificed his game for the betterment of the football team. Hewitt 28 and Blake Acres 28 as well, so getting into that veteran sort of category, and Acres with such a huge year and such an important player. And I think Hewitt, he sort of started off like a house on fire in his first year at the football club, but some injury concerns. Where does he fit in? Have we got enough sort of, I'd hate to call them plotters, but I think it's a big year for Georgie Hewitt next season. Then we go into the prime, and this is the group. This is the group where you should be winning premierships now. So I'll start with the 27-year-olds. You're pitting at fucking great age to be a ruckman. Marchbank just came back in, 27 years of age. I've mentioned Sam Dude in there as a depth player, but these are the ones here. Wiedering, Harry, Charlie, Cunningham, Silvani, Matthew Kennedy, all 26 years of age, all taken from the same draft, all relatively high draft picks, all being that core group of players who come through together and are now 26 years of age and have been in the system for 8 or 9 years, and are all physically strong and should be right at the top of their game. And if they're not, then there's something seriously wrong there. Chincotta, Owies, 26 years of age, a little bit more, probably not as experienced, but Chincotta's no sort of baby. He's played footy his whole life, and he's had some injury concerns, but he's a big, strong, mature body. We'll be sort of battling with some other half-back flankers next year. Owies, goal kicker, just a workhorse. Have my reservations whether he is essentially good enough I don't want to underrate him though, because he does surprise sometimes. But he's 26, you know. Boyd, Lewis Young, and Fogarty, all 25, and big years for all of those three boys, particularly Lewis Young, I reckon. Fell out of favour. I don't know, just wasn't the player he was when he first came to the football club. And yeah, there were sort of rumours going that, not rumours, but just a little bit of talk that he wasn't getting along with the other guys in his back half, particularly Jacob Wiedering. And, you know, there's no surprise that when he went out of the team, the Jacob Wiedering's form just skyrocketed, and his second half of the season was so good that he won the John Nichols medal. So I'm not giving up on Lewis Young, because I think given his height and his skill in the air, that I've seen him play some really good footy. So you just can't give up on a player like that. And I just think Boyd and Fogarty, both Spotswood boys, you know, I think both of them, you know, have done it sort of the hard way a little bit. Fogarty was a high draft pick, but, you know, he's sort of been let go by Geelong, had his injury concerns, battled his way back into the team. A little bit like Owies, and they're just workhorses. Have we got too many of those in our front half? Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I'd like to get someone, you know, in there with a little bit more X factor. Whether those two boys have that, I'm not quite sure. And Boyd, really exciting. I think his big game in the prelim final against the Brisbane Lions on sort of enemy territory showed what he's capable of. Oh, fuck, he's yeah, I think at 25 years of age, he's just about ready to explode if he can keep his body right. A very, very good player. Really well balanced, nice and tough and courageous, and a beautiful kick at the footy, and provides some excellent run. Then we go, I think, into the maturing players. And what excites me about our list is in each of these groups I'm talking about, there's some absolute quality, yeah? So, Chera, De Koning, Walsh, Walsh 23, Chera and De Koning 24, Cottrell 23, Murkoff, haven't seen a lot of him, 23. Yeah, we've got about 4 rucks now on our list. Kemp 22. I've already done a video on Kempy. I reckon he's going to be an absolute star. Durden, big year next year. Carroll, big year next year at 21 years of age. Elijah Hollands comes into the footy club at 21. Nice age. A Q, hasn't played any senior footy yet. Is now 21 and developing. And I reckon Motlop, coming into his third year, you usually see your small forwards sort of break out, and I reckon he started to break out in the second half of the season at 20. I reckon he's now our most dangerous small. And then our babies, guys. And I reckon there's some excitement there. You know, we saw Hollands and Cowan make their debuts this year. Binns won the reserves best and fairest. Where does he fit in? Is it on a wing? Got some real running ability. Knows how to fell in the footy. Then the two big boys, Hudson O'Keefe at 202 centimetres and Harry Lemmy, both trialled in the ruck. Both can play forward. Well, particularly Hemi can play forward. I have my doubts about key position players who were taken later in the draft. I think your best key position players are taken really early. You know, first rounders. Lemmy, was he taken in the 40s? Be really interesting to see how he develops and what sort of size he comes back in and what sort of muscle they can put on that skinny frame. And O'Keefe in the ruck's just a real competitor. Showed some really good signs, and I mentioned the Irish boys, Monaghan and Duffy. Keep a close eye on them this year. So guys, in a word, we are fucking primed. We are fucking primed to win the premiership in 2024. I'm not saying we will. I'm just saying we should be. We should be. And anything but a grand final appearance and potentially winning a grand final shouldn't be accepted now at our football club. It just shouldn't be. Because I've just outlined there that these guys are ready. They're ready. I know Voss said we were new this year to the finals. It was almost like a little bit of an out with Vossi. He's done such a great job. But that saying we are so new to this, so new to finals, was just giving them a bit of an out. We're not new anymore. You know, we're not new. Played finals. You don't need to play fucking multiple years of finals to have that experience. These guys have got experience now in finals. And look at that fucking age demographic, guys. All right, let's fucking reach for it next year. Because I'm absolutely pumped. I'll speak soon. Take care.